Hello, Longhorn families. Today I'm going to show you how to multiply a two-digit number by a one-digit number, and we're going to be using area models and standard algorithm to do that. So up here I have my title, which is multiplying using an area model, but I'm going to show you two different ways that I'm going to go ahead and solve this problem. All right, so if I take a look here, I'm going to give you a problem. Let's say we have 24 times 5. All right, let's say we have 24 times 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my area model box here. So I'm going to do square, and I'm going to make sure that I put a line down the middle. All right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to decompose this 24 into expanded form. I'm going to leave my next factor the same. Okay, so I can go ahead and put my small factor here on the side. That's where this goes. All right, so now we're going to ask ourselves, how can we decompose 24? All right, into expanded form. And if you're not really familiar with expanded form or you forgot about what it was, say that number as slow as you can, okay? So I'm going to say this number slowly. It's going to be 24. That means it's just going to be 20 plus 4. So what that means is you're going to write here at the top 20 plus 4. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to solve. So basically, what I like to do before I start solving any multiplication problem is write out my multiples of the smaller number, especially when I'm dealing with area models. And that's going to help me multiply. So I'm just going to write down my multiples at least till 10, just to help me multiply of 5. So my multiples of 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and I'll stop there, okay? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so basically with an area model, you're going to multiply the 5 times the 20 and put it in this box. Then you're going to multiply the 5 times the 4, you're going to put it in this box. So essentially, over here, I'm going to do 5 times 20, all right? And in this box, it'll be 5 times 4. All right. So now what I like to do when we're dealing with numbers and we're multiplying, they have a 0, essentially a trick that I like to use is asking myself, okay, I'm going to cover up the 0. So now what am I going to multiply? I'm going to multiply 5 times 2. And I know that 5 times 2 is 10. Now that 0 you covered up, just bring it on down. So essentially 5 times 20 or 520 times is actually 100. All right, so now I'm going to try to do 5 times 4. Now if I look at my skip counting that I already wrote, this is going to help me out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times 4 is 20. And now all that I'm going to do is I am going to simply add the two sides that I have. All right, so let's go ahead and try that. So I'm going to do 100 plus 20, and that is going to get me to 120. So 24 times 5 is 120. All right, now let's talk about standard algorithm. You can also solve this problem using standard algorithm. So the way that I like to do this is if I have the same problem, I'm going to write it vertically. So it's 24 times 5. All right, now when we're solving, I'm going to start off with labeling my 1s and my 10s place. So if I go ahead and do 24 times 5, let me move this over so you can see. Maybe I'll move it back over here. All right, there we go. So if I go ahead and I do 24 times 5, I'm going to start off with our base number, which is 5, and I'm going to multiply that with our 1s place number, which is 4 on the top. So what is 5 times 4? 5 times 4 is 20. So I'm just going to write the full 20, and I can just write that right here. This is 5 times 4, all right? Now I'm going to move across. I'm going to do 5 times what? This is not 2. Remember, this 2 is in our 10s place, so it's 20. Very good. So I'm going to do 5 times 20 over here. 5 times 20. And I'm going to write it underneath. I know that 5 times 20, again, you're going to act like the 0 is not there. I know that 5 times 2 is 10. And if I add that 0 down, that's going to be 100. All right. Now I'm simply just going to add the numbers that I have. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 2 plus 0 is 2, and bring down that 1. You get the same answer of 120 using both strategies of standard algorithm and area models. Now, when we look up here and I'm trying to do 5 times 20, again, all I did was ask myself, I know that 5 times 2 is what? 10. Bring down that 0 you have, and that gets you to 100. I know this can be a misconception and a part of confusion for some scholars, so you want to make sure that you show all your work in explaining this 0 process, all right? So once again, all I did was act like the 0 wasn't there, and I did 5 times 10, or 5 times 2, which was 10, and then I went ahead and dropped that 0 that I covered up, and that got me to 100, all right? So an area model and standard algorithm is a great tool that you can use to help you multiply. But the one thing that I want to make sure you know how to do is skip count correctly. Because without your skip counting, it may be a little tricky for you. So any multiple that you have here on the side when doing an area model, you want to make sure you skip count by that number. All right. So I hope this makes sense. If you need more additional help, just let me know.